Schroder's out. Schroder's out.
Is any of that a consideration that it's a back-to-back?
No, not at all.
You know if Eric will play tomorrow?
I don't know
Given the Grizzlies' size and what they do with it on the boards, what's the cap? Is it just do the best you can, or is there a specific counter an undersized team would do against that, or should do against that?
There's a few things. It has to be a all hands on deck rebounding game against the physicality. It has to be a pursuit by the guards so we can release the bigs back so they don't have to, so they can keep contact more or less with their bigs, whether it's Adams or Jackson. But overall, it's just the fortitude and the fight and the group effort to match that physicality and exceed that physicality. We saw last game with Cousins, his physicality really hurt us. So Adams is right in that same vein as far as physicality is concerned. And that's one of the things we talked about this morning as a group.
Does he, even if he's not getting, I know he gets more offensive rebounds than anybody in the league, but does he lead to other guys getting the boards because of the attention he demands?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you're trying to root him off, if you have two guys on him, that leaves another gap for another guy to get in there. So yeah, the attention that you give to him on the boards is really tough because, as you're alluding to, you have two guys on him, then the third guy comes in and can attack the glass. So it's going to be a tough job to rebound the ball tonight. And we have to be like, that's the number one thing. Well, number two, transition is number one, getting our defense set. But then the boards is number two. And we got to fight.
Do you have a further timeline on Dennis versus day-to-day?
Day-to-day. Yeah, day-to-day. Hopefully he'll play tomorrow. If he doesn't play tomorrow, he'll probably play the Laker game.
Any other issues injury-wise?
No.
As you've watched Memphis get steadily better these last couple of years, even in Dallas and now here, is there anything, or is it a multitude of things that's allowed them to take a much bigger jump last year to this year?
I mean, a lot. The experience that they've gotten over the last couple of years, winning big games, you know, progressing the way that they have progressed. Adding Steven Adams has been a big piece, but the biggest piece is Ja Morant and his growth. And he is an MVP candidate. So when you have a young guy that can continue to get better year after year after year, and you put the right pieces around him, it makes it to where you can kind of get out of the rebuilding stage pretty quickly. And I think Taylor's done an amazing job with that group as far as having one goal and kind of keeping it the same as he's gone through. Even when they weren't as good as they are now, they just stuck to the plan and trusted that it was going to turn, and it did. And they picked the right guys, and they had the right guys around Ja. But Morant's rise has been really, really fun to see as someone watching the games from afar. Not so much fun when you're playing against them, for sure.
Aside from just the athleticism, do you see similarities with Jalen and Morant?
Yeah, I mean, the first step is similar. Slight of build, kind of the same. Morant has the ball in his hands quite a bit more than Jalen does, but I would say, and like their games are very different. I think Jalen plays off his jumper, and Ja plays more off of his get downhill. And the more they kind of come together, it seems like Morant is trying to get to the place where he can trust the jumper a little bit more, and Jalen's getting to the place where he's trying to trust his downhill a little bit more. Then they can be even more similar. But I do see what you see as far as the similarities.
Is that what we're seeing from Jalen? Is that he's doing more stuff to either get to the rim or mid-range?
Yeah. I mean, he's reading the defense. And he wasn't necessarily doing that early in the season. He was just playing. But you can't just play in the NBA. And he is a great student and learning what defenses, how defenses are playing him, and how he can exploit those defenses.
How encouraged have you been by Jalen Green's defensive development to this point in the season? And what stands out to you about where he's at now on that side of the ball compared to the beginning of the season?
Yeah, that's a really good question. The thing that stands out early in the season, we were basically we just didn't want to put him on like the guys who would do the most. So we would put him on someone who would be more of a spot up shooter or someone who didn't handle the ball quite as much. And now we don't have problems putting him on guys who are going to be flying around because he's good at negotiating screens and navigating and getting over. We don't have problems with him as much with playing against ball handlers because he is so quick and he has the ability to use that quickness to get over screens or under screens and back into the ball. And his help defense has really improved. I guess the hard part is always like the scheme, right? When you first come in, you're trying to learn, there's so much thrown at you and you're trying to learn all of it in addition to trying to guard these guys on a nightly basis. It makes it really tough, but he's actually improved in both areas as far as the man-to-man defense and using the gifts that he has in those situations, but also learning like, okay, the ball's going away from me. I'm the helper, ball's going towards me. I got to inch out towards my man, all those things that we go through day after day and shoot around. He's been a great student when it comes to that.